My name is Roma. This is Zimlove, a podcast about Zimbabwe. Here I'm sharing interesting stories through people that I've met and want to show you a side of this country that an internet search cannot. Enjoy.
When I am standing and the younger person wants to speak to me, she has to kneel. And sometimes it depends where we are. Sometimes I feel that, whatever she wants to talk to me, she might need more time so I can sit and we talk. Or I can keep on standing and then this younger girl will talk to me like that.
Today's episode is with Charity. Charity is a Shona and English teacher. She was also my Shona teacher, and she gives cultural introductions to people from all over the world. We had such a good time recording our podcast that we made it 2 episodes. So here is part 1. Enjoy. Welcome, Charity. Can you please briefly introduce yourself?
Thank you for having me here, Roma. My name is Charity Maviza. Like you correctly said, I'm a language teacher. I teach Shona and English as foreign languages, and I really enjoy doing that. And I also do cultural inductions for people all over the world. So that is quite interesting.
So, Charity, when you do the cultural introductions, what do you show people usually?
When I do cultural inductions, first of all, we talk. We talk about the cultural shocks. It depends with the person. If they've been in Zimbabwe for a long time or if they are new to Zimbabwe, then we can share different cultural aspects. So we sit down and talk about these cultural aspects. And most times, human beings are universal. So we have a lot of similarities. It is those little differences that can cause a bit of misunderstanding.
Yeah, talking about little differences, I remember when I started teaching, there was a situation with the students. So in Germany, when you say yes, and you start nodding from up to down.
Mm-hmm.
But the students, when they say yes, when they agree, they say yes from down to up.
Yes, correct.
So this is a small thing.
Yes.
But this gesture in Germany, when you put your head from down to up, it's almost a bit of aggression in my culture. So that was a small thing.
Yes.
Or maybe when the students don't look you in the eyes,
Yes.
is how they show me respect.
Which is quite different in this culture. The eye contact is different. If you look at someone right direct into their eyes, it's quite challenging and it's disrespectful. But I know in your culture it's different, right? Like you're saying, if someone doesn't look at you right in their eyes, it means that they're not being honest with what they're saying, or it means they are not interested in the conversation, whatever you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Yes. So this is just one of many differences that we find in different cultures. And also, for example, a yes and no in Shona culture is different. I know you guys, like in German, your yes is a yes, and your no is your no. But here in Shona culture, you might need to read in between the lines whether the person is really saying yes or is the person really saying no. Because from childhood, we are taught not to say no to our adults because that's disrespectful.
So how do you recognize a no in Shona culture? I have my own theory, but I want to hear yours first.
Well, for example, I can give you a very interesting example. So I come to your house, right? And we have a culture of offering our visitors food, just as a courtesy. You can't have a visitor and don't offer them food.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite rude. You're expected to offer them something to eat or something to drink. So if I come to your house and you offer me something to eat, I would probably say, no, I'm okay. And in your culture, probably you just say, okay, you're okay, then that's fine. But in this culture, you have to ask me at least 2 or 3 times, are you sure you're not hungry? Are you sure you don't need anything? Then I say, okay, if you insist, then I'll have a little bit. Then I know you really are genuine about offering me food. because sometimes it's just a courtesy.
That is so interesting to hear because I was born in Poland and I was brought up in Germany. And I have the German culture. But in Poland, it's the same way.
Oh, really?
You have to ask 2 or 3 times, and it's not polite to take the offer the first time.
Yes, same as here.
Because you are then like almost pushy, or you come so hungry, you need the food. So you have to it's almost like a bit of a fight. Like, do you want? No, I'm full. Do you want? No. And then, my stomach. And it's a whole melancholic way of to go about it until finally the person.
Correct. So that is interesting.
Yes.
See how far Poland is away from Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And we still share the same kind of cultural aspect there.
Yes. The other thing I thought about recognizing is a no. And I think even you taught me that in the very beginning. When, let's say, you invite somebody over for lunch on the weekend, and the person says, I'm definitely coming, there are chances that the person will be coming. But if the person gives you extra information, like, I'm coming, but first I have to go to the baptism of my niece, or first I have to visit my mother and then I'm coming, it is much more likely that the person is not coming and the person is already busy.
Yes.
So if there's any extra information, it means either I'm coming much later or I won't be able to come at all. Would you agree with that?
Yes, that will be in the context with the relationship that you have with the person.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That also reminds me with the time concept. If you invite a friend to come and have coffee with you, maybe at a restaurant, let's meet at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then they say, okay, I'll come at 10, but I have a school run and I have to pick up my child from her school music, and my mom is coming from Kumusha, from the village. So I have to pick her up from Bare or something like that. And if the person pitches up, say 2 hours later, you should understand, because the person gave you a warning that there's other things that she needs to do before she comes to meet you. So what will be important is to really ask that person and say, are you sure? Do you need more time? Are you sure you can make it at 10 o'clock? Are you sure you're coming? Because sometimes they'll just say, yes, I'm coming, and they might not come,
I think what's very interesting in what you're describing is it's not just about understanding what is being said, it's also your own responsibility in the communication.
Yes.
That you have to understand. You have to keep on asking about, does the person want food?
Yes.
And you have to keep on asking about the time, because the person being late is not the person disrespecting you.
No.
Also, the person has given you the information and you have not reacted accordingly, saying the person might need more time, offering this time. So I think that's interesting.
Yes, which I also think is very important. I address this with office people. If you have subordinates that work under you and you give them assignment, okay? And these are Shona people. You say, I would like you to do A, B, and C. And it is due by Thursday. Say today is Monday, right? They will not say, no, I won't be able to finish it by Thursday. They'll say, yes, I'll do it. But if they don't make it by Thursday, and you say to them, how come you haven't finished? They say, but I told you earlier on that I still have to finish the other assignment that you gave me last week or 2 days ago. So it is important to read in between the lines, especially the information that you are given when you are making these appointments. It is important to then go back to them and say, do you need more time? Do you think you can really finish on Thursday? Will it be okay if I say Friday? So most interesting, I also do with Japanese, and their time concept is very punctual. So also Japanese have a similarity concept with the Shona people, that they cannot say no to their superiors, So they say yes, but they spend the whole night doing the work.
That's very interesting. That you have this similarity with the Japanese people, that you cannot say no to your superiors, but the work is still being done.
Yes,
in the Japanese context.
They can suffer, doing that work day and night because of the samurai spirit that they say you can never give up on anything, So they keep going.
So this is something maybe specifically for Japanese foreigners in Zim.
Yes.
Do you think there are specific challenges for maybe Germans or British that are like typical things that Germans struggle with or typical things that British foreigners struggle with when they come? Cultural surprises.
Sometimes they misunderstand the concept of yes and no, for example. And they say, you lied to me. You said you're going to finish this assignment at a given time, or you said you'll be here at 3:00. Especially when I'm talking about this time concept, it's more related to social, not to the office. Because people have learned the office culture, But socially, that's where you really feel, or you see people not really meeting their time, on the social side. And also, I can give an example where I spend time with my foreigner friends. Like they say, oh, Charity, would you like a drink? And I used to say, but not anymore. I've learned my lessons the hard way. I said, no. And they said, oh, okay, that's fine. But I'll be so thirsty. And I would wait for the second chance, And they said, oh, whenever you feel you are hungry or you're thirsty, you tell me.
This is also something I try to train the students, that I say, when you participate in class, don't wait for me to call you out. You raise your hand. You're like, please, I want to talk. You try to do it the German way. Raise your hand. You want to be active. Look me in the eyes. Try to be straightforward. Try to be as bold as I am. Try to be blunt. Just that they learn this way of being also with somebody that is a person of respect in their culture.
Yes.
Because it's part of their cultural knowledge.
Being blunt is not found in this culture because the language itself does not allow you to do that. It might sound rude. Shona culture actually emphasizes on respect. And most of the time, the respect comes from how you speak to the person that you're speaking to. And being too direct sometimes really overshadows the idea of respectfulness. You know what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes. But I see where you're coming from. In class, they have to be alert. They have to be active. They have to show that I'm here. I have the answer. I want to try. I want to express myself. They have to be motivated,
You also do cultural introductions in Mbare. So you do tours through Mbare. Mbare is a high-density place where there's a big market and there are artists also showing their art. And if you go there as a white person, it might be a very intense experience for you.
Yes.
So you offer to go there with tourists or foreign people.
Yes.
And I have done a part with a class of mine. I was training them to be guides through the CBD.
Yes.
And then I was also doing a part with them going through Mbare with you.
Oh, yeah, the other time.
Yes.
Years ago.
Yes, years ago. Exactly.
Years ago, I remember.
So what I realized, I then trained them to the end to do the tour through the CBD because I felt in Mbare, they are so young. So when people approach me that are their senior, it is very hard for the students to kind of protect me and to approach the people in a way that's friendly, but showing them their boundaries. Like, this lady is just trying to have a good time. Yes. And they were struggling with this element of respect. So I retrieved from that because I feel Mbare tour is for somebody who is a bit more seasoned in working with foreigners, working with tourists, and also sensitive in how to interact with their own fellow countrymen. Yes. And there was a boundary with my young students that I said, okay, we tried this, they saw this, let's do it in the CBD because there's just more space, not as many people when we go there in the morning. I also take a lot of students and few tourists. So we did it with the ambassador, this tour. I think I had 6 students with me. Yes. It's a bit more of a protected environment, and this is not possible in Mbare. Maybe you can give your insight on that experience.
Yes. What you said is quite true. I also struggle.
You do?
Not in a bad way, though, because I've learned the way to deal with that situation. Like you said, I go there with people from different backgrounds, like foreigners from embassies, and people are different, And some are okay with crowds of people, and some are not okay with uninvited attention. You know what happens in Mbare. But some people are very calm. They're happy. They actually have conversations with people there and make friendship. And with men, I have seen men talking about football clubs.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Which Premier League do you follow? Premier League? Maybe I have to make a podcast episode about that. The importance of Premier League in Zimbabwe.
Premier League, and then they talk about Liverpool. They talk about all those Manchester United, and then they exchange. You know, they talk, and you see that they're happy together. So I go around with them. We go to the market. They talk to the people they try to buy, and sometimes they buy. We go to the art shop, and that's one of the most interesting places that we go to. They see the art, they talk to the people. And sometimes there are people in the art shop who are willing, when they try to sell the mbira instrument, and they play the mbira music. And most of the time, they play the mbira music for me and the people that I'm taking for the tour. And we sing together, we dance together, we take pictures, we take videos, and it's very interesting. But one of the challenges is that sometimes, because the foreigners, most of them are white people, right? And they stand out. And people want to talk to them, which is a good thing. But sometimes they ask for money. And if I think they're becoming too close and this foreigner is not feeling very comfortable with that space, then I talk to my people, right? And sometimes in Shona. And they often accuse me of not letting them getting some money from my friends.
I see that you want to get all the money for yourself.
Yes, I always get the money for yourself, and you don't let us. What's wrong with you? You are our sister, but you don't allow us to get money. Your purse is full of money.
Of course, you have these friends.
Yeah.
Your purse has to be full of money.
Yeah, they give you money. And some people say, the cultural difference also, they say to the ladies, oh, I want to marry you. I love you. I want to marry you. But most of the time, I tell them that if they say they want to marry them, they should ask if they have cows, like a head of cows. Like, do you have 15 cows to give to my father?
To pay the bride price.
Yes,
Lobola.
lobola. So when we do that, we always find that it ends up being very, very interesting, and it becomes a very friendly environment. Everyone will be laughing, and they say, yes, I have cows, I want to marry you, and so forth and so forth. And sometimes we go to the National Heroes Acre, which is very resourceful in terms of the history of Zimbabwe.
So the Heroes Acre, maybe for people that don't know, the Heroes Acre is the place where the heroes of Zimbabwe are buried.
Correct.
It's on top of a hill.
On 1 acre.
There's an eternal flame.
Yes.
And yes, this is the Heroes Acre.
Yes, to commemorate our heroes who died during the liberation struggle.
Which is called Chimurenga.
Chimurenga, yes, with the British. And we got our independence 18 April in 1980. I think it is very interesting when you want to talk or to teach about the history of Zimbabwe, to actually take them to the National Heroes Acre, where we actually talk about reality. They see the graves of the national heroes and so forth and so forth. And we can actually talk about the stages of the liberation struggles, how it started and where we are today.
What would be the main difference or the main thing that you think about treating your elders in a way in your family? How does it look like maybe for a woman and a man? Even when you are older now, how do you treat your elders in the society?
First of all, like I said, the respect is already embedded in the language itself. Because, for example, from the linguistic point of view, I don't know in German. No, I think German is like Shona. But in English, you say there is only one you for
That's
an
correct.
orderly person. But in Shona, we have you singular, which is also informal. Children, your friends, you say iwe, right? And for elders, we say imi, mu, right? So already that.
Yeah, you're right. This is the same in German and English. But in German, I would say, when I explain it to the students, I also tell them, think Shona, don't think English in that sense.
Correct.
So it's mu and Oh, but just that to our elders, you don't address them in a formal way. Our elders, but we have this distinction in our language. It's more about, is somebody familiar to you or unfamiliar to you? Is it a professional context or an unprofessional context?
I see.
But for example, in German, my grandfather or my father-in-law, I'm addressing him in an informal way because he's close family.
I see.
So yeah, I address him with du in an informal way. And I think in Shona, that is different.
Yes, in Shona, it's either u or mu. U informal and mu formal.
But would you address your grandfather in a formal way? Although it's your close relative,
Yes.
you all still use the formal way.
In our Shona culture, we don't give respect for what you have achieved in life. Age itself is enough to give you respect, to address you as mu. From what you have said to me, you have actually put a distinction to how much do I know you? Is this formal? Whereas in Shona, there's no office language or home language, you know. If you are an elder, I treat you as mu. If you are a young person or singular, I say u. So that is one aspect in the linguistic view.
And I can also maybe see that now that I'm getting older, people are addressing me as amai.
Amai, yes.
So as mother.
Mother, Mrs.
Not knowing actually if I have a child.
Yes.
And also there's a person that comes to me, a gardener, Mr. Gondo. I don't know if you've met him.
No.
He's older and his mother's still alive. He's in his 70s and his mother is in her 90s.
I see.
Yes, so he's being addressed as Sekuru by everybody, also by people that are working for the university, higher in administration. They all say, maybe Sekuru can do this.
Exactly, because of his age.
So Sekuru, what does it mean?
Sekuru means grandpa, but it can mean an old man. Respectively, it's grandpa. So you don't have to be grandfather to your family only. If you are a grandfather, you are a grandfather to the whole community, to the whole society. If you are a mother, you are a mother to the community. You are a father to the community. I still need to go back to the question that you asked me. You know, how do I show respect? But I wanted just to quickly mention that if you give birth to your child and we say makorokoto, which is congratulations, you have a baby. We say tese, which means we are all blessed by the birth of this child. So when the child is growing up, it takes the responsibility of the whole community to look after this child, to check on the child. So every person, if you are amai, a mother, you are a mother to that child. If you are baba at your house, you are baba to that child. Meaning that you will not give a blind eye if that child is misbehaving. You have a responsibility to give guidance to the child. So those children, as they grow, they address you as Baba, as Amai, as Sekuru, as Ambuya, just like they do with their own at home. That's how the society, the Shona society, or generally the African society works. Now, going back to your question, you wanted me to tell you how I would show respect to an elderly person at home. And I started with the linguistic part. But also, for example, a younger person is expected to greet the elders or to initiate greetings. Greetings are very important in this culture. You cannot meet someone and not greet them, and then later ask for their help or even to ask for directions. I know these days now there's Google Map and people would say, I don't care.
But I've experienced this myself. When I walk to the office at administration, I know this now. But when I was here years ago, you walk into the office, you say, hello, I just wanted to ask about the paperwork for this and this. The answer to this question is, how are you?
Yes.
I've been put then in my place saying, you come into the office, you inquire, but you have not inquired about how I am, about how work is. So now I'm like, oh, you're right. Yes. How are you? How is your home? How is work? So you have to go through this dialogue.
Yes, you acknowledge that you have seen a fellow human being.
I personally think it's a beautiful thing to relearn.
Yes. So greetings are very important. So say, for example, we wake up in the morning, I greet Mangwana ni Baba, good morning, Father, good morning, Mother, if I am the child, right? So I'm the one to initiate the greeting. And also, it is not only about age. We have family trees, family relationships. We have uncles, we have aunts, and sometimes my uncle or my aunt can be someone younger than me. So I'm the one who is expected to greet my aunt who is much, much younger than me. But then my aunt has learned that if you are talking to your elder, you have to greet first as well. So I'm the one, I say, good morning, aunt, to this young girl. So this young girl says to me, oh no, good morning to you. Because she realized that I'm older than her. So she greets me first. She passes back the baton to me like that. And when a young child is speaking to their elders, one, they don't look at them right in the eyes. You sit down
So you are level lower.
lower than your elders. You sit down or you kneel.
So when you are sitting, the younger person will kneel.
Yes. Or even when I am standing and the younger person wants to speak to me, she has to kneel. And sometimes it depends where we are. Sometimes I feel that, whatever she wants to talk to me, she might need more time so I can sit and we talk. Or I can keep on standing and then this younger girl will talk to me like that. And also, the younger person cannot talk to their elders holding their waist. You cannot put your hands on your waist like this and talk to your elders, or put your hands in your pockets and talk to your elders. That's disrespectful.
So you clap your
You
hands
clap your hands to show respect.
in a special way
Yes.
for women and men.
So men,
right?
it's the left and right, you put it together like this.
Yeah.
And you clap. And women, the right hand crosses the left hand.
Yeah.
And
The cupping.
yes, it shows respect. And thank you, when we say thank you, sometimes we say tatenda to say thank you. But if I don't, and you're giving me water to drink, when receiving, I clap hands and receive. It's good enough to say thank you. Right. Speaking back to your adults is a very bad thing. Even if I know that this adult or this older person is wrong, you don't speak back to them. You keep quiet. You don't talk when elders are talking. This is the respect in the Shona culture. You listen to them. They talk. If they give you a chance to speak, then you speak. But whenever you are speaking, you are not too direct to show them that they are wrong. That is not accepted in Shona culture. So you can't be blunt with your elders. Not at all. You can't do that. When eating food, only that now some of these are becoming tradition. Now people are served food on individual plates.
Yeah.
But we used to eat together in the one plate. So you would wait for the older person to start eating first. Then it goes with the age like that. The youngest person will be the last to
take food.
To take food, but also will be the last one to leave plate. So the elders will say, okay, I'm full, and leave the younger ones to eating. There were rules of food as well.
And also you were talking about the greetings. What I also think is interesting about the greetings and the mornings, it's also a dialogue.
It is a dialogue.
So it's also so embedded in the culture that when you say in the morning,
Yes.
Mamuka say, it means, how have you woken up today? Have you woken up well?
Yes.
And then the answer is, Damuka Mamuka o, I've woken up well. How have you woken up? So you ask back. And the answer is again, Damuka, I've woken up.
Yes.
So it's a dialogue about, you're not just saying good morning, you are inquiring.
Correct.
And from 12, you do the same thing with, Have you spent the day well? I have
Yes.
spent the day well. Have you spent the day? I've spent the day well. So there's always this back and forth dialogue, which shows a lot more of a connection, actually,
Correct. Yes.
other than just saying good afternoon and you keep going. There's a question and there's an answer and there's a question back.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
And it's caring. This is a very caring culture. We care about each other. Yes. And even in the greeting, most of the time, the greetings are in the formal way. Mamuka say, tamuka mamukau. Even if when you are talking to an individual, they say, tamuka mamukau. So that means each person is a representative of their family. So if one of my family members is not feeling well, then I'm not well too. So it's not individual like that. So yes, it's very caring. So it's back and forth. It's not like hi or
And ciao.
ciao. Morning.